Our topic for today is genetics. So, when we talk about genetics, it is an important aspect of biology. So, genetics can be defined. We are going to talk about the definition of genetics. We are going to talk about the pioneers in genetics. We are going to talk about the genetic terminologies, the pioneer in genetics, and some genetics terminologies. So when we talk about definition of genetics, genetics means the science of hereditary and variation. That is the study of hereditary and variation. That is what genetics mean. Variation plus heredity. So when we talk about heredity has to do with the inheritance of characters, like the way characters are being passed from one generation to another. That is what hereditary is all about. Just like the way I am dark in complexion, that means that I inherited that color from my parents. So hereditary simply means the transmission of genetic inherited characters from parents to offspring. So we can't talk about genetics without talking about variation as well. So variation simply means the observed differences. There are differences from species. So the observed differences from species, like a species, there are different organisms. So we can have different organisms. Like when we talk about species, we have human being is a typical example of species. But we have the blacks, those are the Africans, and we have the whites, the Europeans, the Asians. So that is an observed difference in characteristics, in appearance. So variation simply means differences, all right, in organisms. So when we talk about genetics, that is what genetics simply means: hereditary and variation. So we are going to continue from there by understanding the pioneers, the people that actually contributed to this knowledge that refers to as genetics. We can't talk about genetics without mentioning the pioneer. We have the person of Gregor Mendel. Gregor Mendel is an Australian monk. He actually talked about genetics. He wrote a lot of papers on genetics. So he worked on genetics around 1866. And the other person is Johansen. Can you remember Johansen? He also worked about genetics in around 1909. And we have the last person is Thomas Morgan. We have a lot of people that work on genetics, but these people, a few people, actually Thomas Morgan in 1912. So Gregor Mendel is a monk, while Johnson is a botanist, while Thomas Morgan is a geneticist. They all work on genetics, and they used a particular Thomas Morgan actually credited the work of Gregor Mendel, and he also discovered the location of genes on the chromosome using gene mapping. So he used an organism, fruit fly, Drosophila melanogaster. That is what Thomas Morgan used, and Drosophila melanogaster is known as fruit fly. This is what they used for his experiment then, and he used fruit fly simply because it is very simple. Those are the advantages of fruit fly. It is simple, and it is very small, and you can have a large number in the lab, and the male is also different from the female. The period of life cycle is very small. So those are the pioneers.